Hello everyone, it's Galina with Waffle Flower Crafts. In today's video I want to take a closer look at our new release, show you the cards I created and share how I used all these new stamps, dies and stencils. I also share a few techniques, assembly tips and some extra materials I used while making these cards. This release includes more than 20 new products and they all are inspired by flowers and gardening theme. In this release we have several new Postage collage products, a new NPC stencil, some silhouette stamps, whimsical character dies, larger background building dies, and of course some really cute stamp and die sets. So let's start with the first die set called Happy Gnomes Die. This set includes the body die, hats, shirts, tiny boots and all the little face pieces to build your own gnome. I like to start by cutting out the body piece first. Those tiny oval decals are actually for the eyes, just glue them behind the body die cut. When assembling the gnome, I recommend working from the bottom up because it helps prevent the ledges from shifting while you glue everything together. You can also move the pants piece slightly up or down to change the height and proportion of the gnome, which is a really fun little detail. And you will probably notice I mixed several other dies from the June release as well, like the Pots and Plants die set and these beautiful fans from the Garden Backdrop die, because they all work together so nicely. For this card I used the previously released Texture Grass panel die. I will have a full supply list linked in the description video below. I cut the grass from the green cardstock and then I used the cloud stencil with the light blue distress ink to create soft clouds on the background. To decorate the second card, I added white enamel dots from Waffle Flower Crafts, and this set is called Enamel Dots Clean and Clear. And I used both of them, white and clear dots, to decorate this card. The gnomes are also a perfect addition to the Postage collage gardening stencil. You can use one or both gnomes depending on the layout you want to get. On this card I use a larger gnome on the left side, so I could keep a larger focal sentiment on the right side. And let's talk about this fence die cut for a second. I use the fence die from the Garden Backdrop die set, and I really love that it works on both horizontal and vertical cards. For the vertical card, I simply trim the fence die cut with scissors to fit a standard A2 size card. On the horizontal card, I cut out the fence from a white cardstock, and on the vertical card, I used a light beige cardstock. And also added a little bit of shading on this die cut by using a white shader brush and brown distress ink to create a little bit more depth and dimension on the card. Next, I want to talk about Postage collage add-on dies. This is actually a quite large set and I ended up using it a lot while making these cards. I usually start by cutting all the metal pieces first. You can use grey cardstock, metallic cardstock or adhesive metal sheets like this one from Lifestyles Craft Media. I have it in my stash for a while, so it's time to shine for this cardstock. And I think Tim Holtz also has something similar in his collection. So first I cut out all the metal elements and then I cut the handle pieces from a colored cardstock and I glue everything together. For the pruning tool you can connect the two sections at the small center circle with just a teeny tiny drop of glue. At this step you can actually control how open or how close you want the pruning tool to look. You can also slightly bend some of the die cut pieces to add extra dimension to them. And even this set is called Postage collage add-on die. You are definitely not limited to using them only on a Postage collage cards. You see me using them almost on every card for this release. And another really fun die set I used on these cards is the pots and plants die. You can stack the pots from largest to smallest to create a fun little towers of pots decorated with flowers or just keep them as is. Or you can play only with one pot die cut. For example, on this card I used just one of it and decorated with a tomato plant. To color the tomatoes, I applied red and yellow distress inks using a small shader brush. That gives them a more realistic and dimensional look. With the same tools, you can also add shading directly on any of your colored cardstock die cuts, just to give them a little extra depth. And here's another fun idea for decorating the pots. I wanted them to look like aged terracotta pots with a little moss growing on them. So I decut the pots from colored cardstock, added a small amount of liquid glue wherever I wanted the moss to appear, and then I sprinkled on some green flower soft to create that soft, mossy texture. And honestly, I think I have had the same container of flower soft for over 10 years and somehow I still haven't run out of it. That's kind of magic. Or I need to craft more. Next, I want to show you a card featuring the wheelbarrow die from the garden backdrop die set. This die actually pretty large, which makes it so fun to fill with the gardening tools, flowers, plants, and even the little gnomes from this release. And here is another card idea using the same die. I really love how versatile this design is. It works beautifully for both vertical and horizontal cards. For this card, I simply lined up the right side of wheelbarrow die cut with the edge of the card panel. And I attach it directly to the card base. Still plenty of open space left on the wheelbarrow die cut, so you can add a sentiment without covering any of those fun little details. I also used tall grass die from previous release, which pairs perfectly with this set. I trimmed apart a few sections of the grass die cut so I could tuck the wheel between the layers. It helps the whole scene feel a little more natural and dimensional. This month we also have another addition to the Postage Collage collection, the Postage Collage Gardening Stencil. One thing I especially love about this stencil is how much you can experiment with the backgrounds. For my second card, I created a gradient blend from dark blue into purple. And it completely changed the feel of the design, even I used the exact same stencil. We have one more new addition to the Postage Collage collection. It's the Postage Collage Seeds Details die, designed to coordinate perfectly with the seed stencil. We also have a matching Postage Collage Seeds Detail stamp. This set was actually included in our Sneak Peek Club kit, and I already shared a separate video featuring 4 different cards I made with it. That video will be available on the Waffle Flower YouTube channel soon. And if you're a part of our Sneak Peek Club, you probably already have seen it. And the color possibilities are endless. You can keep things soft and monochromatic or go full rainbow mode and make every seed pocket in a different color. You can also stencil the designs directly on a card panel, including colored cardstock. I found that lighter cardstock shades work best, so the ink blending really shows up nicely. But honestly, the most fun part of this die and stencil combo is using the Postage Collage blocks die, just to separate all the seed packets and turn them into realistic little seed envelopes that you can rearrange into different clusters. Some of the seed packets even have tiny flaps and you can lift them up easily. You can tuck a little notes inside or tiny hearts like I did on this card. Or even a real seeds if you're creating a garden theme gift card. I added foam tape underneath of a few packets to pop them up slightly and give the whole arrangement a little extra dimension. And speaking of seed packets, just look at this giant seed packet die. This set also includes a small layering dice for all the little details. And there is another adorable coordinating set called the Seed Packets Icons Die. So you can customize all your seed packets with different gardening plants and vegetables. The die itself is large enough to become the main focal point for a card all on its own. Honestly, you can simply add a stamped sentiment and call the card finished. But of course, I also had to try fitting 2 seed packets onto one horizontal A2 size card. And they actually fit perfectly side by side. For this version, I created flower seed and cabbage seed icons, then I applied light brown tear dye distressings around the edge of the seed packets to give them a softer, more realistic look. I also decorated the card with tiny dragonflies. For those, I decut the wings twice, once from the white cardstock and once from vellum. I layered them together and then added a little body decat on top. I love the soft translucent look the vellum gives the wings. And of course, I couldn't resist mixing this set with the pots and plants dies and some other gardening tools dies. I cut out cucumber seed icon and I colored it with the green Copic markers. And because this set includes a standalone circle die, you can even turn the seed packet into a shaker card or a shaker tag. I added an acetate sheet behind the circle opening. I filled it with tiny beads to imitate the seeds, and I attached the flower icon directly onto the acetate using a strong adhesive tape. Honestly, these little seed packets would also be so adorable attached to a gift for a gardening friend. The next die set is Happy Herbs Die. There are 2 different ways to add the herbs die cuts into the pot. The first option is quite simpler one. You can place the herbs die cuts on the top of the soil die cut, then cover the stems with a smaller front piece of the pot, just before attaching everything to the main pot layer. But if you want to add a little bit more detail and dimension to your card, there is another fun option. The soil die cut includes tiny cut lines that let you tuck the herbs die cuts directly into the soil piece, so the plants actually look like they're growing out of the pot. To secure the herbs, you can simply place a bit of tape or foam tape behind the stems. Then attach the whole piece into the main pot die cut and finish it off with the front pot layer. It creates such a realistic layered look. For example, this herb die cut with the multiply stems is designed to sit right over the soil die cut, which makes arranging everything super easy. And you can layer in as many herbs as you want. I personally love mixing different plants together in one pot, but you could also create the whole pot of mint only, for example. And another thing I really enjoyed about this set was digging through my cardstock stash and using all those different shades of green that I hadn't reached for a while. I also decorated this pot using small plant marker die set. I die cut the marker piece from both white and brown cardstock. Then I stamped a tiny sentiment onto the smaller white piece using VersaFine Onyx black ink for a crisp black impression. You can also pair the herbs dies with the smaller pots from the Pots and Plants die set, like I did on my next card. Here you can see the real difference between the pot sizes and how adorable both versions look. What I especially love about this set is how many different card designs you can create just by changing the size pots and size arrangement. For one card I used the smaller pot, and on another I mixed the large and medium pots from the Pots and Plants die set. So you can go from tiny little pots to large statement pots, and every combination gives your cards a completely different look. This release was so much fun to work with. I loved mixing all the gardening elements together, building little scenes, and finding different ways to combine the dies and stencils. I really hope this video gave you a lot of ideas for mixing and matching these products too. You can create cute and whimsical cards with gnomes and critters, or go for more realistic gardening-inspired designs with some herbs, seed packets, and flower pots. And of course, many of these products were designed to coordinate together, so it's really easy to combine them and build even more detailed scenes and layouts. And I'd love to know which product or card was your favorite, so let me know in the comments below. And if you create something with this release, please tag us, and I will be absolutely love seeing your projects and all the creative ideas you come up with. I will have all links to the products from this release linked up in the video description below, as well as previous released products, so don't forget to check it out. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!